Hello, we're going to look at control sale today in this video. It's a very specific area that comes under Schedule 3 allowances. Okay, let's start with this. Now, when we say Schedule 3 allowances, we actually refer to three types of allowances in the Advanced Taxation paper. Now, it could be capital allowance, which is what we claim for plant and machinery. It could also be an industrial building allowance, which is meant for industrial building. Or it can also be an agriculture allowance if you run an agricultural business. So control sale is actually relevant when we do disposal of asset. Now, when you dispose asset, if you have claimed Schedule 3 allowances, now let's say you've disposed a car, you've claimed CA, or you've disposed a factory that you've claimed IBA, you do need to compute the BABC adjustment, the balancing allowance or balancing charge adjustment. How do you do that? You take the disposal value, you minus the RE. Okay, but if you are talking about agriculture allowance, then there's a bit of exception here. If you dispose of a farm, let's say you've disposed of an entire plantation farm and you've claimed agriculture allowance. Now, we don't actually work out the BABC because for agriculture allowance, they don't have that formula. Rather, it says in the law that when you dispose an agricultural assets within 5 years, then whatever agriculture allowances that you've claimed will become an agriculture charge. Now, this is what happened in the normal case. Now, what about control sale? So if you look at control sale, you can try to understand from RPGT perspective. It's just like a no gain, no loss disposal. Now, but in capital allowance, or we say Schedule 3, but in short, I will just say capital allowance. In capital allowance, no gain, no loss basically means there's no BA or no BC. So if you know the formula for BABC is by taking disposal value minus RE, right? So the law will then deem the disposal value equal to the RE. Now let's just say ABC is disposing a machine for 17,000 ringgit when the residual expenditure is 11,000. Now the normal formula for BABC will be like this. You're going to take 17,000 minus the RE 11 and you're going to get balancing charge of 6,000. But then if this is a controlled sale, right? Instead of using 17,000, the law will deem the disposal value to be 11 equal to your RE. So when you have 11 minus 11, you're going to get 0 BABC. Okay. Now the next questions that you're going to have in mind is when does control sale apply? Now there must be 3 conditions for control sale will apply, okay? Number 1, there must be a para 38(1) situation. Number 2, the disposer must claim CA. Must, okay? Number 3, the acquirer will be using their asset, meaning you're not buying it as a stock in trade. You're going to use it. Now, of all these 3, para 38(1) is the main technical aspects that you need to know what does the law say. So what does para 38(1) Schedule 3 says? Number 1, when you have a case where disposer controls acquirer. Now, take for example, you have a holding company and a subsidy. Now, holding dispose to subsidy. So the holding control subsidy, right? So the disposer control acquirer. Now the second position or second case is when the acquirer controls disposer, meaning we're reversing the situation that instead of holding disposed to the subsidy, now you have the subsidiary disposed to the holding. Now the third case is like this. Both the acquirer and disposer controlled by another company. So you just imagine in the diagram, now we're going to have a holding that has 2 subsidiaries called subsidy A and subsidy B. And now let's say subsidy A disposes to subsidy B. So who is controlling who? The disposer and the acquirer are both controlled by the holding. So that's why in the exam, when you're asked to explain about control sale, you do need to identify which of these para 38.1 situations applicable in the case. Now, para 38.1 actually has another 2 more situations, including if the disposal is by way of a gift, and the last one is if it's under a scheme of reconstruction or amalgamation. Now, that's 38.1. Okay, so what are the steps that you need to remember when you need to apply a control sale? Now, 3 things. When there is a control sale, right, the asset will be disposed on the deemed date of disposal. So we're not going to use the actual date of disposal, but the law will deem that the asset is disposed on a particular date. So how do you get the deemed date of disposal? We said there are 3 steps, right? Now let's just look at the 3 steps. Number 1, okay, what is the date of the disposal? So that's the actual date. Now, using the date of disposal, right, you ask yourself, using that date, what is acquirer's year of assessment? Okay, and once you've got the acquirer's years of assessment, you ask yourself, what is the disposer's basis period using that year of assessment? Now, when you've got the answer, the deemed date of disposal is the first day of that basis period. Okay, now why not just use a case example so that you can understand what we've just said. Now, if assuming XYZ is the holding company for DEF, now XYZ year end is 30th June, DEF year end is 31st October. Now, on 15th of April 2020, DEF disposes a machine to XYZ. So what is the deemed date of disposal? How do you determine that? Now, first of all, the actual date of disposal is 15th of April 2020, right? Now, what is the acquirer's year of assessment using 15th of April 2020? Who is the acquirer? XYZ, right? And XYZ has a 30th June year end. So 15th of April 2020 is year of assessment 2020. Now, then you ask yourself, applying year of assessment 2020, what is the disposer's basis period? Now, the disposal is DEF. So ask yourself, if Y 2020, what is the basis period? It's going to be 1st of November 2019, right? Now, that is the basis period, 1st of November 2019 to 31st of October 2020. So, the deemed date of disposal is the 1st of November 2019. So, XYZ acquires the asset in year of assessment 2020. Am I right? Then DEF must dispose it in 2020 because the year you buy is the year that the person is disposing. And if that's the case, DEF can only claim capital allowance up to 2019 because always remember the principle. You do not have CA in the year of assessment when the asset is disposed. Right, let's just look at the computational aspects. So using the same earlier example, we now add some additional information. We're telling you that DEF actually acquired the machine for 50,000 in year of assessment 2016 and disposed it to XYZ for 18,000 on 15th of April 2020. Now, we've discussed that DEF will claim up to 2019 and dispose it in Y 2020. So you will expect your computation looks like this. The qualifying plan expenditure is 50K. You start claiming in year of assessment 2016. You're going to have IA and AA. You go on with 17, 18, and 19 is your last year. So the residual expenditure will be 12,000. Now, DEF will dispose it. The deemed date of disposal is 1st of November 2019 for 12,000. That's the deemed disposal value. So when you get 12 minus 12, the BABC is 0. Now, XYZ will continue claiming, inheriting the RE from DEF. What is the RE? 12K, right? So XYZ will get this asset at 12,000 residual expenditure. And XYZ will start claiming in Y 2020. And of course, you only claim your annual allowance as if you are the original owner of the asset. So the AA will be 7,000. Now, of course, after the claim of 7,000, you're only left with 5K. So basically, XYZ will be able to claim for Y20 and 21. Now, that's how you do control sale, okay? Now, there's a special case that we have in control sale. Now, this is basically defined as QPE incurred on or after the deemed date of disposal. Now, normally we know the acquirer in control sale will not have any IA, right? Just like the example that we had earlier. But in this special case, now the special case is defined as QPE incurred on or after the deemed date of the disposal. The disposer actually will have no CA, and acquirer will claim the IA and AA as if you are the first owner. Now let's just use an example here. X and Y are both controlled by G. Now X has the 30th April year end and Y has 31st August year end. So let's just start with 15 June 2020 where X acquired a machine for 73,000 ringgit. Then on the 20th of August 2020, X disposed it to Y. Now because X and Y are both controlled by G, this fulfill para 38.1 condition. Now the date of disposal is 20th of August 2020. So to acquirer, this is year of assessment 2020. Am I right? Because your year end is 31st August. So the basis period for the disposer, which is X, will be from 1st of May 2019 to 30th of April 2020. And what is the deemed date of disposal? 1st of May 2019. Now you see the issue? The deemed date of disposal is 1st of May 2019. But the actual date that the company acquired the asset was 15th of June 2020. See, the QPE incurred on or after. What was the date you've incurred? 15th of June 2020. What is the deemed date of disposal? 1st of May 2019. And 15th of June 2020 is after 1st of May 2019. That's the special case that we say. So to X, right, no CA will be given. No BA, no BC, no CA, nothing. And to Y, you will be as if the first owner. That's why Y will have the qualifying plant expenditure 73,000. That's the original amount acquired by X. But you're going to use that. And notice in year of assessment 2020, you're going to get IA and AA. That's the special situations that apply to control sale. Right, so I hope this short video will give you a quick overview and help you to revise about the rules concerning control sale. Thank you guys. Thank you very much. Happy revising. Bye-bye.